I thought my own son loved me, until he tried to steal everything I worked for. He didn't know I had one final move that would ruin him. My name is James Jim Hollister, 65, a retired hardware store owner from a quiet town in Ohio. Every morning, I sip coffee on the creaking porch, listening to the faint hum of the street waking up. My fingers brush over faded photographs of my late wife and the children I raised with every ounce of sweat and love I had. Life has slowed, but the memories of hard work, the early mornings, long days, and sacrifices linger in every corner of my house. I've lived long enough to know that loyalty can be a double-edged sword. You give everything to the people you love, and sometimes, the ones you trust the most are the ones who betray you. But I never imagined the cruelty would come from my own son, the boy I taught to ride a bike, the boy I tucked in at night. Tyler, my eldest, now 42, always had a sense of entitlement. He looks at the world as if it owes him something, forgetting the decades of toil I endured. I remember the day he dismissed my advice with a laugh. "Dad, why bother? You're too old to know anything about money." His words cut deeper than any knife. I had built a business from nothing, worked double shifts, and sacrificed health after health to provide him a future I could never have imagined. I raised him to be kind, responsible, and grateful, but somewhere along the line, gratitude was replaced by greed. Over the years, I watched Tyler make impulsive, reckless choices, while I stayed steady, quiet, patient, devoted. The betrayal began subtly, questions about my finances, pushing me to settle my affairs early, hints of entitlement masked as concern. But the day he tried to seize my retirement funds and my home, assuming I was too frail to fight back, that was the day my heart broke in ways I never thought possible. I stared at him across the kitchen table, calm but trembling inside, and thought, he doesn't know what I've left for him. He has no idea the storm he just awakened. It happened slowly, painfully, like watching a home burn while you are locked inside. Tyler enlisted an attorney to transfer the deeds, emptied accounts under the guise of helping me organize my estate, and convinced my neighbors and friends that I was losing my memory. Tyler smirked, leaning back in my worn chair. "You're old, Dad. Nobody listens to you anymore. You won't even remember what you signed." I felt the world tilt. Every memory of laughter, every late-night conversation about the future, every sacrifice, seemed to mock me now. Betrayal from someone who called me Dad hurts more than any stranger's cruelty. I gripped the edge of the table, heart pounding, yet I didn't shout. I didn't break. I let him believe he had one. Inside, a quiet storm gathered, patient, deliberate. I knew that revenge, true, righteous revenge, requires patience, not fury. For weeks, I acted as if nothing had happened. Tyler continued his antics, bragging to friends, flaunting his perceived victory. But I had already started maneuvering. My experience running a business, knowing contracts, finances, and the small-town network of friends and neighbors, gave me leverage he would never suspect. I transferred assets to hidden accounts, crafted legal documents with meticulous care, and reminded old friends of favors long forgotten. Every move was slow, deliberate. I learned a long time ago that a quiet, steady hand can achieve far more than reckless anger. Tyler's arrogance blinded him. He believed youth and entitlement were stronger than experience and wisdom. He had underestimated the man who had built a life from scratch, fought wars of every kind, financial, emotional, and physical, and still stood tall at 65. Tyler's panic began subtly at first, texts unanswered, emails returned with legal notices, calls he never expected. The frantic energy that had once defined him began to crumble. He didn't understand the quiet power of a man with nothing left to prove to the world. Every sneer he had thrown at me, every careless remark about my age, now came back to haunt him. His modern tricks, technology, lawyers, shortcuts, were no match for decades of knowledge and relationships forged with integrity. Neighbors whispered. Community members began asking questions. The boy who thought he could outsmart his father was now unraveling, and all I had done was stay calm, let him reveal his true nature, and collect the pieces he left exposed. The day of the retirement party arrived. Friends, neighbors, and former employees filled the town hall. Tyler strutted in, certain of his position as the inheritor of my estate, laughing, proud. But as I stepped up to speak, documents in hand, the truth spilled into the room like sunlight piercing a storm. Contracts, asset transfers, and legal confirmations laid bare Tyler's greed, entitlement, and betrayal. Every witness gasped as the scope of his deceit became undeniable. "I built a life for my family," I said, voice steady, "and I trusted someone who wasn't ready to respect it. Today, the truth comes home." Tyler's face drained of color. The applause didn't go to me, it went to justice itself. My dignity, my hard work, and my sacrifices were recognized, while Tyler's arrogance crumbled in front of everyone he had ever known. It was a moment of catharsis, years of heartbreak and betrayal finally met with the balance only patience and wisdom could achieve. Tyler is alone now. Friends and family keep their distance, the community whispers in judgment. I watch from my porch as the sun sets, the same sun that has risen over decades of hard work, love, and sacrifice. I reflect on lessons only life can teach. Integrity outlasts deceit, patience overcomes arrogance, and dignity is never something the young can take unless we allow it. My fortune wasn't just in money, it was in a legacy of resilience, wisdom, and character I leave behind. There's a quiet peace in knowing that betrayal may shake us, but it cannot break the soul that has endured, who has loved deeply, and who knows that life's true rewards are far more than material wealth. To everyone listening, remember, age is not weakness, and wisdom is a weapon no one can steal. Stand firm in your values, trust in your experience, and know that justice, when it is patient and deliberate, can be sweeter than revenge itself. Share your stories of resilience, comment with the lessons you've learned, and subscribe to our channel for more tales of betrayal, heartbreak, and the quiet power of standing tall. Life may test us, betray us, even break our hearts, but dignity, wisdom, and justice are forever.